Oh boy, I did not mean for that to come out so like raspy. Oops. Oh boy. That down to an appropriate volume. I'll just start that over. We'll just have it loop. All right. Here we are. Here we are. Subscribe to earn drops. Oh. Oops. I'm so sorry. I did not expect to sneeze so much. I'll keep that there to remind people when we get someone here. So I'm doing the thing. I'm doing the art thing. Let's see. So, Happy Fits, that band, that little indie band that I listened to, dropped a new song. I forget how long ago now. Hi, Kira. Hi. Oh, hello, Sunbatson as well. Real quick, just to let you guys know, if you are if any of you guys are interested in like Crunchyroll subscriptions, I'm not sure how popular Crunchyroll is these days, but there does seem to be like some sort of thing for it. Get rewards by purchasing or gifting subs to the channel. And there's a Crunchyroll logo here. I'm not sure what that's about, but what on God's earth? I just got a thing. Oh, I think this is from somebody else's stream. That was an interesting notification. I just got a thing where it was like somebody just said he's submissive and broodable on Twitter, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. But anyways, a band that I listen to, the Happy Fits, they've just released new music. Not too, like maybe 3 weeks ago now. But it's a really good song, and there's a shot in the music video that's absolutely beautiful. The song's called Everything You Do. I highly recommend giving it a listen because it's so good. Could you not, that song is like hilariously like stuck in my head. I am trying to make a TikTok out of this, so I am sorry to be like recording while streaming. Oh my god, I forgot to turn my phone on Do Not Disturb too. How about that silly writing excerpt from earlier today? I gotta say, I'm not sure how comfortable I feel sharing my writing, cause I'm confident enough as a writer, I think, and but not nearly as confident as my art. So, I personally don't even know how to feel about posting that. But I was like, okay, well, I need to do like something because I do want to keep up the daily post thing. I don't mind it that much, honestly. Daily posting is not the worst thing in the world. I feel there I've never shared my writing. Yeah, it's tough. I like to think that I'm a decent enough writer, or at least a character writer at the very least, because that's what I like to focus on. I like to think that I'm particularly good enough at that. Let's see, I'm gonna keep this like kind of low because I want the background to continue to be dark. Maybe I should have chosen a different color. It's okay. But I like to think I'm a good character writer. You know, I'm a dungeon master. I'm a veteran D&D player. I know how this stuff goes. So the whole point. So in the comic, there's supposed to be this antagonist team. I call them the Scarecrows, because, for one, it's an MCR reference. It's a reference to Danger Days, and two, I like Scarecrows because it's like they're kind of a bounty hunting team that a lot of companies hire out to silence people that they don't like. So I like Scarecrows for that. Just a very simple, menacing kind of name. So the antagonist team is called the Scarecrows, and I wanted to do like little origin story kind of things to humanize them. And the reason why I've been saying like antagonist team and not villain team is because in my head they're not villains, they're antagonists. So they're supposed to be like super like human at the end of the day, or not like they're very like believable like human characters at the end of the day, right? Like, yeah, sure, the bounty hunting for like corporate like hits is not cool and all, but you know, these circles aren't even part of the background. I just want to like add them. They're gonna be like lens flare stuff. But yeah, one of the D&D one-shots that I wrote for the story was for last week. It took me forever to finish that one, by the way, because it was a stealth mission. And I was like, how do I do this without accidentally killing all of my players? So it focused on 2 of them, and I wanted to write a little continuation, like sort of like after the one-shot kind of thing. Because the whole point of the one-shot was that the guy, the bard, Vince Kirsin, he wanted to steal this maid's earrings from a rival house because he wanted to talk to her. And like the whole reason, my personal justification for that is that they already know each other. They're already like into each other. They're already like sort of dating. It's just that their relationship is secret, and there's like a whole thing about like weird family dynamics with the whole or like the whole family business dynamics, I should say, in Imperium, the elven city in my world. It's kind of like Dune, or it's not like entirely inspired off of Dune, but a lot of the characters are from this one Dune one-shot that we were trying to like play, me and my cousins, a long time ago. Well, it was a 2-shot session, but point being, it's supposed to be kind of like that. So there's like different houses. Each house kind of has like the stuff that they specialize in. They're very rich. They're very powerful. Yada yada yada. So on and so forth. And the whole point there was all of that to say that like there's a maid in one house, and there's a member of a different house, so House Apide, House Kirsin, and they want to, like, their relationship is secret because even though like the 2 houses are like kind of forming an alliance right now, if that gets out, it's gonna be like super publicized, and like their lives are Vince, at least his life is already like super like public. He doesn't want like any more of it like to be out there. So he figured that hiring a team to steal the earrings would be like a funny way to oh, you know what, that's why the thing has felt weird. Yeah, I think I am gonna undo all of that just because my stabilizer was on and I wasn't getting the shapes that I wanted. Anyways, so I wrote a continuation off of that. It was really nice the way my players handled it last week. After the mission was complete and the earrings were secured and they met up with Vince again, they were trying to explain to him, like, hey, you know, like, you really like this girl, you should just talk to her and, like, go for it. Like, don't let anything hold you back. So, I personally like to think, like, that is a really good impression to leave off on Vince, and he's... The whole point of the thing that I'm writing, this one chapter, is supposed to be, like, Vince is talking to Asha and, like, what if we had something else that wasn't, like, part of, like, Imperium and our respective houses? Like, what if we had, like, something else that was ours that we could do that was just, like, that was just for us? And that's kind of gonna be how it is for, like, all of the Scarecrows. Morgan is another one that I'm going to write. I'm definitely gonna get some insight with Biba on that one, because I think it's only fair that Rolik also makes an appearance there, and we'll probably, like, co-op write that one together. But I'm really slow when it comes to writing. I run into writer's block really easily, which is unfortunate, but I think I want to work on that this year, actually. I think, I think that'll just be like good in general for me because I do want to write this comic, but I can't write the comic if I don't practice writing. Good luck with that, thank you. I hope it goes well. The other thing that I gotta do with the comic is actually, like, start, like, figuring out how I want to open it. Because you know what's tough? Opening a comic, I can write pretty easily, but a lot of what I write are very, like, self-contained. They're never, like, multiple chapters long, and if they are, it's, like, it's pretty short. It's pretty short at the end of the day. It's hard to open something that you want to develop into a much longer story, in my opinion, because the readers are going to be in there for the long haul, so it's like you really gotta, like, hook them in. I'm trying to figure out how I want to open it properly. It is, in my head, it does start out with Eri just kind of, like, walking down the guild dorm hallway, and she has, like, an iPhone in her hand. Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, it's tough. She has an iPhone in her hand, and it immediately establishes, like, this is, like, a very different kind of fantasy world, right? Which that's what I personally like about it, because, like, that's an immediate, like, okay, well, this is a very, like, modern world. It's, like, gonna be very, like, set apart from, like, traditional fantasy, which I personally, but I don't think it's interesting, which is the tough part. The other thing, too, is that I want this to start off as sort of like slice of life episodes before it starts digging into plot. Tell a story but leave some things open for sequels and other stories to fill in. That is hard to do. Yeah, exactly. So I'm trying to think, but I want to introduce, like, everyone in the community to, like, the world more and more, and I don't want it to just be through art because as I'm finding out with my little arthritis glove here, art is not easy to mass produce. But, writing kind of is. Writing can be done a little bit faster in a sense, or rather, there's less strain on my hand and my wrist if I tried writing. So I think I'm going to try that. Which means a few things. I have no idea if the release schedule is going to change because of this. Because this week is kind of like a test week, right? Writing doesn't risk well, it still will risk carpal tunnel. Just a little bit slower is what it's gonna be. But it's still not quite right, the shape of the but the point being, this week is kind of an experimental week, just like, okay, maybe I don't post art every day kind of thing. Maybe I can just, like, have some side stuff that I can post, and maybe it won't be, like, maybe it's not going to be, like, really popular or anything, right? And I'm okay with that. Like, that's just going to be what it is, right? But it still, like, fulfills that daily post quota. It's still like some sort of creative outlet. Yeah, take it easy on myself. Yeah. I will say for Thursday I'm going to practice really hard on bass because I do want to show off just how far I've actually gotten with that. Because I've come a decent amount, I think. Just stop the recording there real quick. God, it's so annoying having to, like, talk and record for TikTok. I don't even know why I bother with these sometimes. They don't do great, but they're fun to make. There's my answer. Yeah, I've been learning a few songs on bass, which is really cool. I'm still digging through, like, this one channel's, like, playlist, trying to find, like, proper, like, exercises to do that isn't just songs, because that's not how you get better at, like, well, it kind of is, but, like, you don't get better at an instrument just by playing songs. You get better at an instrument by playing the exercises that are going to teach you the techniques to play the songs better. That's what it is. So I found one exercise, 10 minutes a day, just, like, this sort of it's not really a scale really, but it's kind of just like to get you used to like the fretboard and everything. But another thing that you can use it to do is fix like plucking speed or plucking, alternating, and this thing called flying fingers, which I was confused about. Like, my fingers don't fly on bass. Practicing his song is still good. It'll just be very limited training. Yeah, it's super limited. But it was really funny because when I was watching the thing, it's just like it's supposed to help with like keeping your fingers close to the fretboard. But the funny thing is that once again, I played flute for 6 years. So it was the same thing over there. We had to keep our fingers close to the keys because if we actually like played with like, I should bring out the instrument arguably to show you guys, but it's buried under a pile of junk right now. But like you don't play the keys like this, you actually play like a lot closer like this because it's faster and a lot easier. So my fingers are kind of already trained for that. The only reason why they're like maybe coming off the fretboard a little more is because my hands are tiny, and the guy will call it micro shifting in his videos. For me, it's a little more like macro shifting on the fretboard. So there's that. I should probably like edit the videos together while just to make sure that I pad out the thing. But yeah, it's I really do have a lot of fun with bass. It is like I think me slowing down on art will just be a good thing overall, just so I can round out some other skills. I do like how this is going so far too, this piece right here. So give me 2 seconds. I'm going to make sure that I don't accidentally get copyrighted. Let me mute real quick. Sorry about that. Bass is fun, not pleasant to play with your wrist currently, but still. You know what's funny? It's like this, like, because, you know, I'm right-handed, so the plucking hand is honestly not that bad, because all I'm doing is just, like, moving 2 fingers, essentially, right? This, however, this is horrible. Like, the amount of stretching that I gotta do to, like, hit the frets is so... it's kind of crazy. I don't mind it that much because at least my fingertips aren't getting sliced open, because that was my issue with guitar. I'll do something like that. That was my issue with guitar, which is unfortunate because I still kind of want to learn guitar. I really like the way the acoustic sounds. Oh yeah, the fingertips get busted up, dude. It was so bad. The acoustic that Johnny lent me, it's got a great sound. I love how it sounds, right? But my issue is the issue with me playing that one specifically was as a guitar beginner, I feel you, yeah. My issue with that one specifically, the strings sit super high above the fretboard. And you know, they're metal strings. So it was really, really tough to play. Like, I could play Johnny's other acoustic just fine, because he's got like a red one that also sounds like really good. He has one of those, and I can play it fine, right? Like, I was trying to learn I Want to Live, and I can play it fine on his, but I don't want to use his red one because I know he bought that, and I know it's really nice, and I don't want to like accidentally like break it. I'm very good with my instruments, but it doesn't feel right for me to play somebody else's instrument is what I'm trying to get at here. And really funny because I can play it just fine there. Like I can play it faster, even like more up to speed. If I play on the one down there, it is so painful. It is so difficult, and it's like, oh my god, why do I do this? Let me just ban this bot real quick. And I think Automata's doing a good job keeping it out of like the actual chat, but I'm banning them anyways because they're not welcome. Okay, now I want to do like a sort of like glitter effect, which is going to be interesting. And I don't mean glitter as in like sparkles or anything. Glitter and sparkle, that's two different things. That's gonna be two different things for me. I want like big shapes that I can turn into glitter. How am I gonna do that? I think I'm just gonna have to take like a color here, right? And take the shape tool and just... Well, you know what? We'll draw it out first. We'll paint an area, right? Look at me, problem solving live on stream. No, that's still not exactly what I want. I think what I want to do, actually, is I want to create, sort of gradient. Man, there's tons of gradients happening right now. Again, the best part is that in my reference, these like these lens flares aren't even there. Maybe I should just like... It just looks so pretty though. It's okay. We'll figure it out when we get the background finished. I think what I want to do is I want to do something like this, and then I wish I had some sort of like stamp, like a circle stamp. There is a gradation dot, like gradient dot brush, but I need to be able to like brush it. Oh, let's see if I tried using it. How does it go? Yeah, it goes like that, and I don't want it to do that. Yeah, there we go. So how do I... Let's see, let me get like a bigger shape so it doesn't... Yeah, because I want it to be, like, yes, that looks good technically. The issue is that I want it to be more, I want it to be more clustered, not like a repeating pattern, you know? So let me see, I bet I can like work something out here. Okay, well, there's the circles. I don't want it to fill. Don't need a fixed reference point. I think we're just gonna have to like individually do this. Unfortunate. It does look good. Yeah, the lighting does look good. Okay, that's okay. We can figure this out. So, make a new layer. Turn these off for a moment so I can grab the individual things. And here's what we're gonna do. We'll just make like a bunch of them. This is gonna be what does my wrist in, honestly. Or actually, you know what? You know what's probably smarter? It's probably like a lot smarter. Let's take a... Let's go 150, 100 by 150. And we'll just take a bunch of circles, right? No, I need them to be like roughly the same size. Oops. Don't you just love making your own brushes, chat? I won't lie, I kind of do. It's this is like pretty fun. We're gonna, because I just trypophobia warning, by the way, just in case. I just realized what I'm doing here, and I'm like thinking about it, I'm like, ugh. You ever think about how weird trypophobia is? Like, why am I scared of that? Or I guess it's not necessarily like, for me it's fear, it's like this shape makes me very uncomfortable. I think that's what it is. Can't say I've ever made my own brushes, but this is interesting. Essentially what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill up this space with a bunch of dots, and we're gonna turn it into, you know, I bet there's probably a cloud brush for this, but I'm too lazy to spend time looking for it. But trypophobia is just kind of interesting, because, you know, a lot of phobias come from, like, survival, right? Like, the reason why we fear things is because we don't want to die, which, you know, is valid. So it's like, like, sometimes you have to, like, sit there and wonder, like, how did evolution make me fear this? Right? Because I personally think, like, repeating, like, circular patterns are cool. I think it looks neat. But at the same time, it's like, why do I feel so deeply disturbed by it? Which I think is just an interesting question. I know, like, some phobias technically aren't real. There was one from a long time ago that I remember. It was, I forget what it was called. It was some ridiculously long name. And an equally ridiculous, like, fear. It's like the fear of being chased by a timber wolf on like a freshly waxed floor while wearing socks or something like that. Around a counter. Like, it was so horrendously specific that I had to, like, sit there and be like, no, that's not real. But it's like, why? And there's some weird phobias out there. It's just, I don't know how much of them are, like, actually, like, real. Because I think there is, like, a very distinct difference between, like, a real phobia and something ridiculous, such as being chased around a timber wolf while wearing socks on a freshly waxed floor around a counter. Like, if you have that fear, that is valid. A timber wolf is a timber wolf, but, strange, regardless. Let's see. So I hope this isn't, like, triggering anyone's trypophobia. I'm, like, being very careful here. What we're gonna, because this isn't going to be, like, this isn't necessarily going to be the glitter already. There's gonna be, like, a few extra steps we're gonna have to take in order to make sure this looks like glitter. I bet we could, like, use this pattern for, like, a ton of other things too, which is cool. Wasn't there a fear of long words also weirdly long? Yeah, that has to be, like, one of, like, that has to be one of, like, the coolest things to ever do. Like, I think I'm scared of, I can't, I'd, like, imagine, like, I could not. Alright, so this is how you add brushes in Medibang. I believe it's like the bitmap thing from Canvas. And it's gonna do that. I think what we want it, no, not scatter. bitmap watercolor. Yeah, I think that's what we want. And essentially, it's going, so now we take this, right? Let's rename it to dot scatter. I don't know, because I don't want it to just be like glitter, right? Do that. And this should brush spacing. I think we gotta go. See, it's not perfect is the problem. Oh boy. Maybe it's because we filled up the whole thing. But yeah, no, there are some weird phobias out there. Phobias I'm not really sure are like real and everything. Yeah, because now it's doing that. But if we do that, we don't get any of the clarity. So let's see. Also, is the music too loud? Just wanted to make sure. Maybe it's my volume that's loud. Because I already turned it down. Thinking about how much I can actually hear it. Turn it down just a bit more, just in case. But yeah. Let's see. How do I want to go about fixing this? See, let's go back in here. We definitely want size by pressure going, but it's not helping that I made the whole thing like square, I guess. Brush spacing, rotate along. Well, it can't be. Oh, actually, that might be what we're looking for. Ah, but it's still coming out square. Yeah, because it's still doing that, and that's literally not what we want. Oh boy. Maybe we need to fill it all in? Or maybe we get rid of let me see. So like let's turn this into a circle, right? Let's take this, move that around, right? And then we can invert the selection. And then get rid of that. Then let's try this. Let's try it like this. We're gonna make it a pattern. Maybe bitmap should be. No. Man, this is tough. I mean, scatter might work. Let's see. Oh, actually? Yeah, I think that works. The only thing is that, this isn't exactly the intended effect. But you know, it does look pretty cool at the end of the day, so I can't complain. I think the music is fine. Okay, good to know. I mean, you know, if it works, it works. I think I can get this to do something cool. Okay, so let's see. Let's see, scatter strength. Let's get it real clumped up together. Particle size, let's make it small though. Random. Let's see. Because here's what I wanted to do, right? Let's put everything back on. We're gonna do this. We're just gonna Can you believe this was like not part of like some sort of like default brush pack on this website or on this software? Gonna add, and it's gonna look like that, right? Right. Let's see. Oh, hello, Tracking XP. I recognize you from Blue Sky. I believe you. I want to say that you draw sort of like anime-looking art as well. Lovely to see you here. First time chat. Welcome. That's really exciting. All right. So we're just trying to figure out how to do like glitter effect right now, which I'm trying to like emphasize is like a very like different thing from sparkles. I think chat gets what I'm saying. We've sort of accomplished what I'm trying to go for. I almost think that maybe this should just be one big circle at this point, but it looks really cool the way that it is, so I'm not gonna change it. Anyways, I think what we gotta do now, we make that normal. Put another layer of sparkles. Or of glitter, I should say. We do add on that one. Decrease the opacity. Do another layer. Smaller this time. Add. And then I think from here we're just gonna make these kind of way less visible, just so they don't interfere too much with our glitter effect going on here. And then... yeah, that honestly looks pretty cool. That's like roughly close to it. That's like roughly close to what I was going for. Yeah, I've been meaning to stop by, but time has been tricky. I do art, but I don't know what that I would call it anime. Like in the background is looking nice effect. Oh, thank you! I'd say it's like pretty close from what I remember. That or I'm like mixing you up with like a different creator, and I'm gonna be very embarrassed. There's like so many artists in my feed. Let's see. Oh yeah, I've mixed you up entirely, I think. Oh, so it's way more like a comic book then. I see. I'm so sorry, I'm like stupid. So who was that other guy then that I was thinking about? Okay, so it's way more of like a comic book style, but like, oh, you have like a really nice like rendering. Yeah, this is great. That's totally okay. Thank you. Yeah, because I could have sworn there was someone else. Oh my god, and I missed some like posts too. Let me fix that real quick. This is cute. Oh man, I love this. Anyways. Yeah, I'm honestly fine if people can't make it to the streams. I understand that I'm kind of in like a funky time zone. And you know, streams in general are just like hard to catch. Let's see. I think okay, so I think what I want to do now is because I want it to look like metallic, you know? I'm gonna give that watercolor shine. This is tough. Okay. What happens if I merge these 3 layers? We completely lose all of that shiny bit there. It's probably just gonna have to be fine as it is. Let's see, we'll just like fiddle around with it. Yeah, this is like roughly what I wanted. Alright, background is done, I guess. I guess that was the softcore tutorial on how to make glitter on digital software. You make a brush, and you go ham with it. That's not a great tutorial. I'll workshop this on the side probably. But I think how do I feel about the background though? Definitely want this to be a little bit lower because the background should still look dark at the end of the day, you know? It's tough trying to figure out like how bright I should make this. Let's see. Because, you know, I don't want to go like I don't want to remove these like so much so that it's like they basically shouldn't even be there. But again, my reference, like they are kind of in a black screen. Make a brush, go ham. Got it. I mean, it is fun. I think being able to make your own brushes is a good skill. I've made a few. But that's usually when I'm lazy and I don't feel like drawing the same thing over and over and over again. Well, you know, it's like good skill to have at the end of the day, you know? Let's see. I think just having this at like 25 should be good. And then we'll take one of the foreground glitters and make it a bit stronger. I think what I'll do too, just to give it, I think the way that I can get it to have like that metallic effect, like you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Not necessarily metallic, but like the way glitter is like very shiny but not glowing. Does that make sense? That's definitely a useful skill, something I need to dig into a little bit. Yeah, it's true. What I personally notice is I don't think a lot of artists use a lot of brushes necessarily like on the regular. Like I use 4 brushes. I use a pencil to sketch, I use a studio ink pen, and then I use a watercolor and an acrylic brush to render. Like that's kind of it. That's all I need. Other artists kind of make a point of having like they'll have one for like specifically to paint hair, they'll have one specifically, and I think that's fine. But I think it also depends on like the kind of art style that you're going for, because you don't necessarily need to have a lot of brushes, which is kind of like a cool thing. There's like a rough watercolor brush here. Like I have a lot here, but a lot of these I think I just straight up have never used before. I just like grabbed them because I didn't have Medibang Premium before, and there were some free trial brushes, and I was like, oh, I'm stealing this before it goes back onto the before it stops being free. I tend to use a lot of different brushes, either across pieces or on the same piece, depending on my mood, but I do agree with that. You can accomplish a lot with a few brushes and that you have a good understanding of. Yeah, and I think that's something that, like, I think that's just, like, a really good thing to just be able to do. Just, see, how am I gonna get this to be, like, more, like, metallic shiny? I gotta, like, bring this down a little bit, and then bring this up more. But yeah, it's just, like, I think if I'm, like, branching out to use other different kinds of brushes, it's probably because I'm, like, trying to accomplish, like, a very specific texture. Like, there's this one brush that I have here. It's called Dry or Rough Feeling. You can kind of see what it looks like there. Incredible for wood grain. Like, just to show off an example of how good that brush is for wood grain. Let's go to my cloud gallery. Oh, look at the other whips that I have yet to work on. Oopsies. Just kidding, there's actually a ton of finished art here. Like, let's go to the rogue sticker real quick. Like, that dry or rough feeling brush right here, like, accomplishes such, like, a good, like, wood grain look. Oops. Didn't mean to put a thing there, but yeah, it's really good. It's a really good brush. That being said, I only use it for when I'm trying to accomplish different textures. Like, that's why I have all these other brushes. Yeah, brushes are so nice for getting texture. I dig that. Yeah. But you can still, there's still a lot of textures that you can accomplish with just like a small set. Like you can still technically do that wood grain with just like an acrylic brush. Or you can still get like a very like metallic sheen with a what's it called? With a watercolor. A lot of it just kind of depends on like how you blend it, I think. Alright, I think that's like roughly what I wanted. I think that's as good as that gets. Now, here comes a more funny question. Do I stand to gain anything from this if I put a filter over it? Like, if I just blur it out just a little bit. So like this one would be probably the strongest at like 10. Yeah, I think just blurring that one layer out and then... Actually meant for this to be like right, oops! To be right there, and then that comes down, this comes up. It's like roughly the same thing. I think it looked better actually when the layer was down there, so... Kind of a weird effect though. And then I think I guess we'll just blur this one out too, but we'll probably not go as strong on it. So like a 3 maybe? Or 5? And then this one will make into like a 3 or a 2. Yeah, that's glitter. That looks like glitter. And that's what I wanted. Yeah. That's that is the background. I should probably move on to the rendering now. Rendering is gonna be fun. I'm actually really proud of the glasses. I'm usually terrible at painting on glasses, but I think I did a decent enough job this time. Yeah, let's see. Reset our color real quick. What I always like to do for the shadows, I think technically to get a better sense of depth, people want to like, typically you make the shadows cooler and then you make your highlights warmer. But I just really like saturated colors a lot, so I just saturate everything at this point. We'll get that going. This is my favorite brush on Medibang. This acrylic brush is actually so good. Has a beautiful texture to it. It gives it like a real like rough and unblended kind of look. Even though I do kind of like blend like the edges. I have a rule for my acrylic brush. It is a really nice texture, right? Like it really gives like a really cool look, and this is, I think, like what is the most like one of the most like iconic things about my art style. Just this brush is actually the GOAT. Yeah, the only parts that I like blur and smooth out is just like this edge here, but even then, like it didn't really need it in my opinion, so I'm just gonna undo that. We'll just like make that even, make it nice and dark. Another rule that I have for myself when it comes to like shadows and everything, I do my best to make the shadows like as dark as possible and noticeable. Because my general rule with art, if it's like a really, really subtle change, then to me it's like I don't understand why I even did that then. So, I always like push so much, when it comes to everything. I'll make the lines thick, I'll make the rendering like really like vibrant as possible. And that's just how I see things personally. I know like a lot of people, like especially some other anime art styles, they have like a very like smooth gradient, and
The shadows don't get too dark or anything like that. And it looks fine, but it's just, whenever I tried to do that, I don't like how it looks on my stuff, so I stopped doing it. A while back, we did a tier list of my old art, which was really funny. Man, those were some embarrassing pieces. All of which had like kind of the same issue of just having like really just like this really invisible like elements to it, like stuff that's really hard to notice. That's a nice rule to have. I know I've done a lot of pieces, especially traditionally, where I was afraid to use too much pigment or go too dark, but then it turns out not looking as dynamic. Oh my lord, an old art tier list. I think that was genuinely one of like the funniest streams I've ever had. Another tier list that we did one night was an OC Smash tier list. That was supposed to be for April Fools, but my internet completely died over April Fools, which was so sad. But yeah, no, I think I definitely want to do another tier list. So June is coming up. I think either midway through June or at the end of June, or even maybe at the start of June. I want to take all the art that I've finished this year and put that into a tier list, just as like a, where do I stand? How do I feel? I think they're really fun to do, actually. And I think I've been trying, I think on the community Discord, I think I will also be trying to see if there's like going to be like more people who would be willing to do another OC Smash tier list, because I think that would be funny. Or like some sort of like OC date night kind of thing. Like a halfway point thing. That's fun. I think, I mean, it's something to just like be a little bit, I guess it's, how do I describe it? Something a little more fun with art rather than just like looking at it or like making it. Because I think tier lists are very silly. I think the OC Smash tier list is still my favorite of that one that I've done. I've done two, but like it's still like the funniest one, I think. I love doing tier lists. Tier lists are so memey but so fun. Yeah, they're really great. Being reflective is always good, and finding a way to turn it into a fun thing helps. OC Smash tier list is hilarious. Does anyone remember the exact like tiers that we had? I think S tier was rattling the bars of my enclosure. I forget what A tier was. B was like, I think B tier was like a cute date night kind of thing. I think part of me also kind of like wants to change it to part of me also wants to change B tier to like either cute, like either have it as cute date night or have it be like I need a full romance arc with this character. Rattling the bars of my enclosure, yeah. Exactly. I think A tier, now that I think about it, was smashing that subscribe button or something like that. It was just like that joke that YouTubers always make. I think that was A tier. B tier was cute date night. I kind of want to change it to full romance arc. Or I need a full romance arc with this character. I think C tier was I think we should just be friends. And then in D, there wasn't even a D tier essentially. But D tier was funny because it was just down there to exist, and it basically said nobody goes here because all my OCs are hot. Which like is true, you know. I'm not putting them in D tier. I need to do it again though. It's such a funny thing. Yeah. Let's see. If there's any new OCs that I have, I am definitely rattling the bars of my enclosure for them. Just like a quick tier list, real quick. Blight's fantasy design. We put her under cute date night, but also because we were kind of scared of her, because she looked like she would bite people. But that was her cyberpunk design. Her fantasy design looks a little bit kinder. A little bit. I wouldn't mind throwing her in the smashing the subscribe button tier list and tier. And then, no, not that. Doremi. Her name is so funny to me. Doremi. I think I'm rattling the bars of my enclosure for her, honestly. I really like the haircut that I gave her. I love that she's like completely decked out in like spikes and jewelry and everything. She's cool. She's cool. That's a super cute haircut. I love curtain bangs on a character sometimes. I don't like them personally on myself. One time we went to like Great Clips or something like that. I forget what store it was, but I wanted to get my bangs trimmed. You know, like the way that I have them here. And then she gave me curtain bangs, and I was so upset because I was like, this is so ass on me specifically. You did a great job with the band, honestly. Yeah, thank you. I'm very proud of them. The Devil's Trinity. I do want to flesh them out more, but I need to take like take things like one storyline at a time at this point. I have too many characters. The Devil's Trinity were actually going to be featured in a beginner one-shot I wrote for a Discord server. We didn't end up doing the one-shot because unfortunately half of us lived in Europe and the other half of us lived in East Coast. Things are so tricky. When they work, but most of the time they don't. Yeah, it's so annoying. The way I like to have mine trimmed is, you can see it better on this side, it comes down to a point like that, which is not easy to get, and I recognize that, but that lady, I was like so upset because she like moved so much of it like up front like this and then like trimmed it like that, and like I don't want that. Like I want my hair like out of my forehead and to the side like this. So I was just losing my mind with that for a little bit. And it's like so annoying too, because it's like they'll like step back. They've done like they've done the complete opposite of what you've asked for, and they'll be like, "Well, how do you like your new look?" Well, I can't put the hair back on my head now, can I? Like I know some of them are still like kind of learning, but sometimes it's like you ask for something and then they do something completely different, and you're just there like, how? I'll literally go like asking for like a trim, and they decide to do something like oh, we're gonna give you a different style. I'm like huh? Why? Which is exactly why Johnny is like learning to cut hair right now. He actually did my bangs and trimmed my hair because it was so god awfully long for a few months, and he did a better job than literally the places that I've been going to, because it's way too expensive to get a haircut right now. I'll be like, can you just like take an inch off my hair? Sure, that'll be $40. Okay, I guess I just won't get my hair cut then. And then that's how that's been feeling like, but yeah. I might ask. I like the length right now. I feel like I kind of want to get the bangs trimmed again, just to keep them short out of my face. Actually, if they're short, they're gonna be in my face more. But point being, I think I do want to have the bangs trimmed again. But I might end up trying to do them myself, or like I'll have Johnny spot me at the very least with that. Yeah, haircut prices are wild. I don't envy women there. Yeah, it sucks. It's literally so tragic. There's like, I think, to be fair, I think, the hair salon, like, really close by, our house, I think they do have, like, an option, like, hey, if you just want to trim, it's, like, this much, and it's, like, cheaper than both men's and women's. But, low-key, I think they do try to, like, style it out more just so they can say, like, oh, you didn't get a trim, you got a haircut. I asked for a trim. There's this other, like, store that there's this other place that we go to, run by a Vietnamese couple, and, they're very nice, because if I just ask, like, hey, can I just get, like, a little bit, like, taken off, they don't charge too much, but, like, I think they have been having to increase their prices because, you know, small business. cunning business practice. It hurts so bad. Oh my god, it's 12:30 already. I didn't even notice. We've been here for an hour. I gotta say, it has neither felt like it's been an hour, nor has it felt like, how should I describe it? I have no sense of time, and I can't tell how long I've been here, so it neither feels like I've been streaming for a while now, or for any short amount of time. I will say, it is getting very warm in my room, but it's not unbearable just yet. Let's see. I'm not looking forward to streaming in the summer, I'm not gonna lie. My dad was able to fix the AC, but I think I gotta clean that filter out because it's not cooling down that fast, so I'll probably get like somebody's help with that here at home. The summer here, I think it's gonna be really bad just based off of how the spring has been feeling so far. Like, yeah, spring will get like really cold still, like out of nowhere here for a bit, but it, like, when it's hot, it's like really hot, so I'm just like, okay, summer's gonna be awful, and I've already accepted defeat. You know, what can you do? Well, I gotta make sure I add, like, their blush, too, on the thing. Let's see. That nice, and blend it out a little. Add the texture back in, and that's how that goes. We've already had a few days in the 80s with high humidity. Ugh, and I'm not looking forward to it getting worse. God, humidity sucks. Like, people will complain about, like, dry heat and everything. Humidity is, like, it's not the sun that's hot. It's literally everywhere around you that is, and it sticks to you. I cannot stand humidity one bit. I can't remember if I've told this story, but one time, for vacation, I think back in 2019, we went to Washington, D.C., or, well, we went to East Coast, so we went to a few places. There was New York, New Jersey, because, you know, they're all, like, kind of bundled up there, and, one of our stops was Washington, D.C., and this was in the summertime, so, for a brief, like, 5 minutes, it, like, rained. Super hard. Super hard. No, I miss the dry heat so much. Dry heat is just infinitely better than humidity. There's no questions about it for me. Especially after this story. So it rained for like all of like 5 minutes, but it came down like really hard, right? But as soon as it let up, reminder, it was still summertime. It was still hot. So now not only was the temperature like ridiculously high, but now there was a shit ton of moisture in the air. And we were walking around, I was in jeans, and I was like, everything is sticking to me. I am horrendously itchy and sweaty, and I want to go home. It was so bad. And of course, it's like it's like a park too, right? So it's not like there's any like buildings that you can go into for like water or anything. It was just miserable. I was losing my mind. I will say, on that specific, like, trip when we were in DC, there were these ducks, and there was, like, a popsicle stand, and we're eating our little ice pops and everything. Yeah, it was so bad. And one of the ducks, as we're, like, holding it, like, you know, in between bites and everything, one of the ducks bites the thing, and I have a picture of it, because I think I was recording. I don't think it was me who had the duck take a bite out of my ice cream, but it was funny. Wonder if I could find it. Let's take a break real quick, see if we can find that real quick. Open another Google Photos tab, why don't we? Dark mode here. Oh, thank you. This would have been summer 2019. Oh, I think this is already when we're back home. It might be. No. Here's the East Coast trip. East Coast was cool. It was just really, really warm. New York was kind of neat. The only thing was that everywhere kind of smelled like piss, which was not fun, but really cool regardless. Niagara was neat. Really enjoyed that. And then where is the duck eating our ice cream? Oh, there's a squirrel. Here it is. Here are the ducks. But where is the specific picture that I'm thinking of? There it is. Let me see. Display capture. There it is. Look at this menace. It's such a funny, like, thing. I hope ice cream isn't, like, that bad for ducks, because I'll feel kind of bad, but... You know what? I'm sure... I'm sure she didn't mind. Let's see. Let's clean that up. Johnny thinks it's like so unhinged that I merge all of my rendering to like one layer, and I'm like, well, I'm not gonna be touching it again, probably. Just make sure that's a bit darker. And let's add some extra, just a little bit of extra shadow up here. For depth's sake, or something, I don't know. I've never taken an art class, I don't know what I'm doing up here. But I think that's like roughly right. I don't know. It's so funny being like, oh, I'm like, well, like I don't really know what I'm doing, but I know what I'm doing. I kind of wish that I did take an art class at some point, but this is equally funny. Oops. Where's my eraser? There it is. Let's see. Oops, that's too big. That reminds me, there's a little joke that my cousin told us once. I'd give it like a 7 out of 10 on the unhinged scale. Real. There's this one joke my cousin told us. For context, Bisaya, or water in Bisaya is tubig. So, this one time he just goes, I forget if it was like real life or in a group chat, but he's like, hey guys, don't you think the ocean is a little too big? And I think it was on the group chat, because there was just like a number of like reactions on it, just like thumbs down, not funny, didn't laugh. It's so stupid. Alright, and then I usually keep hair. I usually don't do the hair with the skin just because it has a high chance of like getting blended into thing. I think I did miss like a little bit of color here, so I'm just gonna fill that in real quick. There we go. Nope. We'll be doing the gold trim here, or the gold jewelry and stuff. Bring that down. Yeah, another thing that I do, I always like move the color slider more, like if it's yellow I'll move it more towards orange, if it's orange I move it more towards red for the shadow. Like I'll move it to something that I think will just give it like a better like saturated look. And I personally like how that looks. Like right here, this looks really nice to me. And you know what? I should probably record some of the rendering process. I do that with shadows as well. Yeah, I don't know if it's like an actual like rule with shadows. Because again, there's like there's like a lot of color theory that I think I just know like intuitively. So I don't explicitly know the reason why it works. I just know that I like how it looks. Yeah. And then for like smoother surfaces, I like to use the watercolor brush, because Just to give it, just to make it look a little bit more interesting. And then do something like that, I think. Never actually know what I'm doing. It's so sad, but it's so funny. I just know somehow this is supposed to work out. And you know what? To be fair, it does usually work out in my favor. Oops. Oh yeah, so last week... So what we've been doing at Carl's Jr., me and Johnny, is anytime, like, we gotta restock sauce, the little sauce cups, like the ranch and the barbecue sauce and everything. What we do is that, or what we've been doing is that we take these little like cardboard dividers between like each stack inside the box, and we've been taking them home because we realized we can use the cardboard to package art prints. So I've had like a ton of them saved, and on Friday, I think after work I went to go to Staples to go buy some sheet protectors and everything, and I still have like some other, if it works, it works. So true. And I had some other like plastic sheet packaging for other stuff too. So what I did, I just spent like the whole evening just cutting those down and getting them fitted in. So now I just have like a ton of stuff that I can package art with. Now I don't necessarily have like all the prints I need to fill all of that out. But to me, I'm just glad to like have them essentially. And there was another piece of cardboard that I took from the store. Really happy with this one because now it means I have like something where I can display my prints in like full and everything. Because before, what it used to be, I have these holders, these little like letter organizers, and it, like they kind of cover a lot of it, but you know, to me it was like it got the job done. But I got this huge sheet of cardboard now and these magnets, so I can just like stick the prints on there as preview, and it works so nicely. I was so happy with all of that. I was just like, let's go. I think I'll record like this little bit too. So I'm really happy with that. What is this? I'll put that there. I think that was with the flower press. I bought a flower press. I completely forgot about that. I have no idea how to use it. I'm still kind of doing research on like how to get the flower press going. I'm waiting for Johnny to have like a sort of day off so both of us can go find some flowers to put in the press because it's kind of small. But this is what it looks like. I found it off of Instagram. Of course I went with the mushroom design because I love mushrooms. But yeah, I think I might also try to find a tiny wrench because it's kind of hard to unscrew the nuts on it. So there's that. But I'm excited. We have a jacaranda tree in our front yard, and I'm thinking I'm probably gonna I'm definitely gonna take a flower off of there. It's just, you know, I gotta do research again first. But I also bought a little jar at Michael's so I can fill it with water, so that way when we actually go find the flowers, I can like put them somewhere where they won't die straight up. But yeah, so I'm excited to be doing that. Johnny suggested that I scrapbook and journal the pressed flowers, which I think will be good. That'll be a good thing for me to do. Okay, and then I think from here I have enough space, as in like the colors won't touch each other if I start with her shirt. So I think it's also been a while since I last saved the canvas. Oops. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, I don't think anyone has asked, but my hand is feeling better. So to describe what's been going on, if I close my hand like this, there's like a lot of pain like right here in these joints. So I got a compression glove. This is different from the one that I posted because I had bought a medium initially and it wasn't really working. So we went to the local pharmacy, grabbed one of these instead. It does feel better. It does not hurt nearly as bad, and I've just been like keeping this on like as much as I can. I can't wait to go into work on Wednesday because I feel like for the past 3 weeks, every week I'm coming in with some new like injury or ailment, and it's kind of sad. But I don't even know if I'm gonna work with this thing on, honestly, just because like there's so much food handling going on and everything. I'm not sure if I should be wearing it, but I want to because it does make my hand not feel like shit. Compression gloves are nice. They are really nice. I just I've kind of stopped hiding it from my parents because I think they just recognize like I have like the worst like hand health at the moment. But I kind of didn't want my parents to like see that I like bought like this other thing because it's just like I hope they don't ask what it is, but they haven't. I'm like, okay, I'm fine. Speaking of buying things, I need to remember to drop by the bank tomorrow before my shift so I can deposit my paychecks. From the game store because they don't do direct deposit, unfortunately, and I did the online banking thing, but the last time I tried that, the app didn't like me doing that, so I've just been like, you know what, the bank's right there across the street from work, let me just do this. Let's see. There we go. I think that's looking pretty nice. I think we can finish this today. There's still plenty of time left on stream. And if I don't finish it today, I'll probably, or here on stream, I'll probably finish it like tonight. I do know that I need to clean my room. I'm gonna try and be a little bit more proactive about like cleaning it as soon as it gets messy. I say that, I know it's not gonna like go well for me, but I'm gonna try anyways. Let's see, how do I want to do this? I'm gonna put like a shape right there. Then right here in the wrinkles again, just make it nice and dark. But yeah, I'm probably gonna clean my room. I know when Johnny gets home, because my mom is off today, we're gonna go to IKEA. And I forget what the exact reason why is. I think we're supposed to be buying a table so we can so we can convert one of the rooms into what is effectively going to be an art studio for Johnny. Because there's so much stuff on the kitchen counter and it's like, okay, hold on. Hold on now. Which is nice, actually. I think I like that a lot. I don't know if I would, well, I don't know if I would use it, because, I primarily do digital stuff, but Johnny does way more traditional work now than he does digital. But, yeah. So we're gonna be doing that. I just don't know how well it's gonna work, because I know in that room that they're thinking of, there's already a coffee table there, and it's like, okay, what are you guys envisioning in your head exactly? Because it's not like that room is completely clear either, so it's like, is that really gonna work? But I'm excited regardless, and it is nice to take a trip to IKEA. Specifically the IKEA that's like close by here, and when I say close by, I mean it's still like cities away. The Jollibee headquarters are there, which is so funny to me. Like, Jollibee HQ of America is right there. And it's like, I'm home! I'm home! Pinoy! I love the Filipino memes so much. Actually, the lead singer for Happy Fits, or the cellist, I think I should say, because I think they all like share a lot of the vocals and leads and everything. But he's actually Filipino. His name is Calvin Langlan. And I was like, yo, look at that. Oops, it's the blur. Something like that. This is a nice look for the shirt, I think. I might go back into the shadows on some of the wrinkles and add like some darker ones there. Just because I think it might be a little bit necessary. Especially like right here, so I'll just go a shade or two darker and then just add it right here at the edges in like sort of small amounts. Or like in the middle here. Be a good one, I think. Then here again on the edge, here again in the middle. Something like that. I don't need to go too hard on it, I think. Then maybe add some here too. Not too much. I don't usually do like this like double like layer color shadow thing. It's all kind of blending together right now. I'm like, I need some more like distinction. Oops. Let's see, grab this color again so we can, I think I need to make it more like this. There we go. I think that's what we had before. I like the rendering process. I used to hate shadows, kind of, because it's like they take so long, but it's like, well, like, now that I do like the whole like add definition to the rendering kind of thing, it's been really nice, all things considered. It still takes a while, but at least the process is a little bit more involved. Yeah, so just something like that. I'm not gonna be super neat on this one, just because I think the highlights will end up just taking care of it, and it's kind of a lot. I feel like I have like so many whips, but I want to do the I really want to get through all the dice stickers already. I feel like I just want to like buckle down and do all of them at once, but because my goal right now is to do Art Walk in July, because Art Walk only happens first Thursday of the month. And like I don't necessarily have to do it by July, you know, but it's like I feel like I'm so close already. I should just like get all of it done, because I need time to order the sticker sheets too, and that's like the last thing I need, because I have a card reader already for my phone that I can hook up. I'll just need to like set up an account on that. I have my prints. I can always print more at this point because I have a cutter at home too. Just I feel like I'm like so ready already, but like it's just one thing that I need to finish. But I want to do this too because this is I do like working on just regular art more than I do the stickers. Like the stickers are fun, but I have way more fun just doing this rather than trying to paint as semi-realistically as I can. But I gotta say the dice stickers even still have been like a really cool like learning experience. I feel like I'm not gonna call myself a painter, right? Because painting digitally is so different from painting traditionally. But like I've learned like a good amount from it. I think it's really cool that I've learned how to like take things that are like not super like a single like solid shape and turn that into something with depth and definition, which is really cool. That's probably something I never would have like really saw myself doing for a while. But yeah, I'm still having fun with the dice stickers. I'm excited for the Bard one. because we got some really cool ideas. Like Biba had like a really cool idea for one of the things to paint onto it, and I was like, oh, that's so good. The battle between doing art and doing the art to sell, it's so sad. Oh my god. And I gotta open up, at some point I'm gonna have to open up my commissions again, because even though I don't usually get them, they're still nice to have open. And I think I got some people at the game store who are like willing to bite on that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to opening that again. I'm debating on if I should increase my prices or not. I feel like I'm going to. There's this one guy at the game store. I know, like, he's got like an AI profile. I'm sure he's not like super thrilled about it. But I do love that even though he has the AI profile, he still like loves to like support artists, and he's like, you should absolutely like be getting paid for what you do. It's just, I think it is just, I think all it is just like he probably like couldn't afford like something of like that kind of like rendering, because it's like a 3D thing. And it's like, okay, you know what, valid enough. He still loves artists, at least. He's a really cool guy. I think it's so funny. Every Monday, I play D&D with people who are like 10 to 20 years older than me. It's so silly. And like we have so much fun, and it's such a goofy like thing. I get paid to DM for these people. It's so fun. Yesterday, right? Because it's only Tuesday today. Yesterday, I had 5 people show up to the store interested in playing D&D, and I was like, oh my god, this is like the coolest thing ever. And like, I never usually expect to have more than 4 players, so I usually balance my one-shots for 2 to 4 players. What a sweet gig. It's the coolest thing. It is actually the coolest job ever. I'm also the store's artist in a sense. Like, occasionally I'll like design something for them, which is also just like a really cool thing. Like my first gig as an artist, as well, which is so cool. But yeah, I don't normally expect more than 4 people to show up. I had 5 yesterday, which was the coolest thing. So I did like some on the spot like rebalancing. So let me talk about the actual one shot that I wrote. The one shot is very heavily inspired by some of these YouTube shorts that I've been seeing, where people will go diving into the ocean to remove what's it called? To remove invasive species. So for example, I think out in Australia they have an invasive sea urchin that's destroying the reefs there, and they'll just have a bunch of divers like scoop them up and take them upshore, I think, to be killed and sold to restaurants for uni or something like that. I think. Which is really cool. And then they do the same in Florida, except with invasive lionfish. So I wanted to do like my own sort of invasive species removal one shot, because I think it's cool that there are jobs where you can help the environment in that manner. And nowhere does it get more invasive in a D&D fantasy world than aberrations, because aberrations are quite literally as they're literally not from this plane. So on the material plane, it's like there's no predators that can hunt them. There's no nothing has like defense mechanisms about them, so they absolutely dominate whatever space that they're in. And the exposition that I had for the one shot was that, oh, well, you know, there's like the exotic pet trade and everything, and maybe when you think about that, you're thinking of like having a panda or a tiger or a zebra or something like that as a pet. But in a fantasy world, you can take that even further and be like, oh, there are some people who want like beholders or other things, like literal aberrations. And it's like, okay, well, the legality of that is like blurry at best, right? Because, you know, it's kind of a dangerous like pet to have. But isn't in question is what happens when those aberrations escape. So the whole the whole situation in the one shot was that one person was conjuring up a bunch of them in one of the college dorms, and they all escaped, and he gets arrested. But now there's like a state of emergency in this undercity, because now the local ecosystem is under a huge threat at the moment, and you know, like, these aberrations are also very malicious and they are attacking the citizens. And so the guild gets all of their present and active members. There's some like traveling mercenaries who volunteer as well. And the idea is like, okay, we're gonna turn this into a competition to better incentivize that all of the aberrations are rounded up, contained, or killed. And you know, they get like an RP reward, a gold reward, stuff like that. And it was really fun because I got to make my own monsters for once. Like, I've built encounters before, but something that I've never done exactly was create a monster for my players to go up against, or a creature, I should say. So this was a fun little experiment for me. Like, yeah, that's a very nice idea for a one shot. Thank you. It's I'm finding that the one shots that I really enjoy writing the most are the ones that lean more towards like nature preservation and topics like that. I really love biology, it seems. But I really like I really enjoyed making the creatures. Let me pull up the Google Doc for that, because that one was really, really fun to write, actually. Stories, one-shot, what was it called? The one-shot was called Alleyways and Aberrations, which I was really happy about, and sorry for the light mode completely making my skin radiate like the sun. But yeah, I made 3 types of monsters. Hand spiders, which is just based off a stupid drawing that I did. Eye poles, which was really fun to write, and stomach slugs. The hand spiders were fun because I basically took a tarantula and made it the size of a small puppy or a small cat, which is really funny to think about. They still have the urticating hairs too, and I did incorporate that into the sort of mini stat block that I had here. The eye poles, I thought were fun. I was doing a little bit of research on beholder life cycles on Forgotten Realms, and the cool thing about beholders is that they literally like throw up their womb when they give birth, and the babies chew their way out of that. And I was like, we can make that a little bit more interesting. To me, beholders kind of look amphibian-ish to me. I know it's described that their skin is kind of like stone, but it's like, it's stone frog, I guess. So eye poles are the first stage of development for beholders. And I have it written here. Beholder wombs are partitioned, with each section holding about 2 to 3 eye poles. Within each section, the eye poles fight and consume each other, with the strongest using the nutrition from its siblings to chew its way out of the protective membrane of the womb. Until they reach the next stage of their life cycle, eye poles only have access to minor psychic capabilities, which I really enjoyed. So every eye pole essentially could do like one thing, and that was it was effectively the mind sliver cantrip, which I think was fun. And then the stomach slugs, Johnny liked this one because I think the scientific name for slugs, or like gastropods or something like that, literally translates to stomach foot. Stomach slugs are quite literally just crawling stomach-looking things of tissue and acid. And they literally just keep eating. They completely digest everything that they consume, and they never stop growing. I have it here. They're a lot slower, and usually the smaller ones are opportunistic hunters and carrion eaters. They'll fire a precise shot of digestive bile, but because the acid works so fast, they have to be like really, really precise with it as to not like as to not have the food completely digest outside of the stomach. So, but I had it so that it's kind of implied, like, oh, the stomach slugs can get really big, and they're known to cannibalize smaller ones, and they're resistant to outside attacks, yada yada yada. So, the final boss of the one-shot was this elder stomach slug, essentially. How do I get rid of that thing on the side there? There we go. Was this elder stomach slug, and I really enjoyed having the balancing that one. I had it so that I could like swing its tail and hit 3 people at once. It obviously had acid spray that it could do. It had resistance to non-magical piercing, slashing, and bludgeoning damage. And this was my favorite thing about it. I gave it a little feat called Corrosive Bleed Out. If it gets struck with anything, like, and you're within, like, if it gets hit with a melee attack, it will straight up just spray you with acid. Which I thought was, like, really fun. So it's just a really fun way to balance out. Realistically, I think the challenge rating for a creature like that is probably closer to like 3, honestly. Because I didn't give it like too many crazy things, because I still wanted like level 1 players to be able to take it down, and I did give the players like an NPC party to help them. But it was really, really fun, and at the end, one of the NPCs ended up dealing the final blow to it, and I was like, that's not fun to have like the NPCs kill the big baddie, right? So I was like, okay, the tiefling, she uses her thorn whip, and she subdues the monster, and she yells, "Everyone, now, like, attack," right? So the whole idea was to have, like, the players attack all at once, but they saw where this was going. A bunch of them ran as far as they could, while, the other 2, like, got up super close to deal the finishing blows, and the elder stomach slug just exploded, like, stomach acid and like whatever like was previously undigested, which was really, really funny. So I enjoyed that a lot. It did a good one shot last night, and I'm excited to be writing the next one. The next one, I've already had a one shot about dragons. That one was titled Worm Watching, and actually, I already had a one-shot about dragons. I think I should have a one-shot about dungeons somehow. But I was like, okay, dungeons have like a lot of puzzles in them, but it's like, how am I gonna get my players into a dungeon? Because one of the tough things about writing a dungeon in a modern fantasy world is everywhere is kind of explored already to an extent. So it's like, how do I make dungeon exploration, like, more interesting, more in line with the world? And I was like, oh, there's a very eccentric wizard in his tower asking you to deliver something directly to his face, but because he's doing an experiment, it is of utmost importance that he doesn't leave his experiment unattended for even the briefest of moments. So you gotta go through his tower, and it's on non-Euclidean space, so there's, like, it makes, like, no sense how you get up there, and there's, like, puzzles that you gotta solve, and the reason why the tower is like that is because he's got, like, these rare artifacts, and he wants to make sure that if somebody breaks in, they're gonna have a lot of trouble getting out, so that he has time to recover those artifacts, and I think that makes enough sense in my head. So I'm excited to write that one. I'm not sure what kind of puzzles I'm gonna have my players do, but it will be funny. I don't know if I'll have a combat thing either. Maybe it'll have like some sort of like security, like guard system thing. I don't know. But I'm looking forward to it regardless. This is another reason why I think I want to like practice writing more. It's because I need to do these weekly one-shots, and it's not easy to find inspiration for the one-shots for me personally. So, a little bit tough. But yeah, I've been having like so much fun at the game store every Monday, and it's just like I wish I personally could, that's a nice way to introduce a dungeon into a setting like that. Yeah, it's like again it's interesting having to think like in different ways, like from writing a traditional fantasy. So I am enjoying it a lot, and it's so funny. Another like option or that I was thinking about was maybe like, oh well, it's a modern world. Maybe there are these game shows that have their own dungeons in a sense, and the contestants race to solve the dungeon puzzles for a prize at the end. But I wasn't sure if I liked that idea enough. I'm sure I might like reuse that at some point. That's also like this is also what I love about writing one shots. There's not a lot of commitment to a one shot, and I love like finding ideas and just taking them just far enough to where it creates something interesting, but it's not something that's like super like involved or continuous either. So once again, just love it. I love this job, not so much as the Carl's job, but it's okay. I need to get my friends at Carl's Jr. to like go to my one shots one day. Like they're so silly. I know one of my friends wants to play this vampire one that I had a bit ago. That one was supposed to be for Valentine's Day, but I kind of forgot to write it. I think I want to change up how it's like, how the progression in that goes, just a little bit. Because I know when I played it with some players, it was like a little bit tough to get the ball properly rolling on that, but I think just adding a few more stakes, especially because I think she wants to play it at level 5. So it's like, okay, I think I can like rework some things here and there. I think I've got a dip, but I'll leave you a lurk. Thanks for the stream, and good luck with the rest of the art piece. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for coming around as well. Always lovely to see new people in chat. Always lovely to see people in general enjoying me yapping here and doing the art. But yeah, I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you for coming along. But yeah, I think I'm gonna be changing it. Love the yappening. Haha, that's a good one. Peace. Alrighty. But yeah, I might like rewrite it, or I might even like write my own like a different like level 5 one shot. Just for her. Just for her. Oh, hello, Bach Addict. We are arting as usual on Tuesdays. I think yeah, I like the idea of like changing it up. I like the idea that perhaps maybe I'll make like a prequel. So to describe two of my vampire OCs real quick, there's Lord Velarin and Lady Tarantella. Lady Tarantella is an Aranea vampire, so she's kind of like a spider. And I like to think that Velarin and his little troop of spawn, they're not actually his spawn, but he's kind of adopted them because he killed the previous vampire lord that initially sired all of them. So they're kind of adopted, and they go to not Noctera. What's the place called? Crypthaven. Crypthaven, this undead sanctuary in the Underdark, to seek refuge, where they meet Lady Tarantella. And Lady Tarantella is incredibly evil, but she like very much pretends that she's not. She's very like motherly in a sense, and gotta get out of bed. Mood. That was me today. It's like, oh, I have stream in an hour, but it feels so nice lying down in bed. But I gotta eat breakfast. My breakfast was Kraft mac and cheese today. I love mac and cheese. But anyways, I think we'll merge that and make a new layer right here so I can do the hair. Nicole, your hair is so dark. It's gonna look a little sloppy, but it's okay. What was I talking about? Right, so Lady Tarantella, she's very, like, motherly, in a sense. She's very evil, too, but, like, she's... Mac and cheese is so good. Being a vampire as well, she allows, Valoran and his spawn to, stay with them, and the thing about her is that she's also a jeweler, so, she sells these things called sanguine diamonds, and the sanguine diamonds, not only are they, like, a very popular, like, gem for engagement rings in Crypthaven, but they also have another very, very special property. Normally when a vampire escapes his previous master, he can they can no longer be compelled, or enslaved by another vampire. That's how it goes. When you get your freedom, you're free for good. Sanguine diamonds, however, when infused properly, I'm still working out the magic, but basically, a vampire lord can give another vampire lord a sanguine diamond and effectively mind control them in the same way. So Lady Tarantella does exactly that to Valoran and his spawn, and when they realize the manipulation, they have to escape again, hence why he hates her so much. But she's incredibly evil, and I think doing like a little prequel to that would be kind of interesting. For a level 5 one-shot, she's just gotta like let me know like whenever, and I'll probably like write that on the side, because I do like to keep the one-shots at level 1 for the store, just because it keeps it for one, it keeps the encounters really simple, and a lot of the players either haven't played D&D in a while, or they're new to D&D, so it's like, for me it's important to keep things like very, very simple for my parties. But if I happen to get like way more experienced players, it's like, okay, I can make something at level 5 a little bit like scary and everything. It's just, I also don't have a lot of experience running at level 5, but the last time I did it, it was pretty fun. Just a little bit tough as always to balance. But you know, it worked out. So you can get that nice and shaped up. And clean up here. I am liking how this is looking so far. Oops. Here we go. My mom, before stream started, was like, "Are you hiding up here from Butters too?" I'm like, well, not really, because I have streams starting in like 10 minutes, and she was like, "Oh, she hides from Butters because he does not leave her alone." It's so funny. Usually, if she wasn't home, I would leave the door open, so Butters can come up here, if he wants. Jimmy too, but the room's a mess right now, and I don't think either of the dogs want to come up here, because it's also very warm. Let's see. Do a few things. Not entirely liking how that looks, but I think it'll be better when I can get the highlights in. we'll go down here and record me rendering that bit right there. I think at this point I'm just gonna grab like a bunch of like videos, because I don't want to like pause to like to edit the TikTok on stream. Like that's kind of lame in my opinion. Like maybe you guys don't mind, but I do. Let's see, bring that out. There we go. That's looking pretty good. My eye is itchy. And speaking of eye stuff, I switched my contact brands like 3 weeks ago, because I was trying to explain to the optometrist, like, it's weird because it's like I leave the contacts in overnight and somehow they kind of dry still, so they won't sit right on my eye and it'll be blurry out of one eye, and it's like really annoying. So we tried switching brands, and so now this one's like I change it instead of like bi-weekly, I change it monthly, which is pretty cool. And which is pretty cool because it's cheaper, which means I need less pairs in a year. However, we ordered the contacts I think like 2 weeks ago, and I still haven't gotten the refill, and I'm not sure what to do about that. Like, they said like, oh yeah, the order will be here in like 1 to 2 weeks. We are on week 3 now, I think, and we haven't gotten a call back from the optometrist, and I'm just here like, okay, we're coming up on the month mark here. Like, I think next Monday these contacts will technically be bad. I'll probably still wear them if I have to, like, so long as like I'm not noticing any like detrimental side effects doing that. But I don't know like what happened. Like, did someone steal them in the transit or something? I don't know. And would hate to wear, like, not that I don't like wearing glasses anymore, but it's like contacts are so liberating in a sense. Johnny actually, I don't remember the last time I've seen him with glasses, but he will just straight up not wear his contacts. I tried doing that, going like full, like no glasses, no contacts, just living with a blurry vision. I can't do it. I can't do it. Being able to see is way too nice. I remember I had to like do that for a bit because when Butters was little, one of the ways that I would play with him was that I would get a blanket and I would like hide under it, and I would be like, oh, where did I go, Butters? And he'll like jump on top of me and everything, and it hurts, but it's so funny. But I think at this point when I had tried that, he had gotten a bit bigger, and he snapped the frame of my glasses. Now I get plastic frames because the metal ones will irritate my skin a lot, like really bad. So I had plastic ones, and I was so sad because I had this pair for like 5 years at this point, and it snapped, and I was just like, no, it's gone. And we couldn't put it back together either. So for a bit, I was just kind of like, well, I don't want to put contacts on because I'm not like leaving the house or anything. But it was just like, I tried doing the whole like not wearing the contacts thing. It did not work out. Like, just having blurry vision is not fun. I don't know how Johnny does it. He was like, it's very liberating. I'm like, this feels like the complete opposite. I feel like I can't do anything and I can't see anything. Surprisingly though, every visit to the optometrist lately has been like, oh, your eyesight's getting like a little bit better at a time. And I'm like, wow, I don't know how that's possible, but you know what? I'll take it. I think it is just like healthier. I'm not gonna say reduced screen time because it is absolutely not reduced, but it's healthier screen time, right? Like, I'm not like hunched over playing video games like this. I'm like sitting back and drawing, which means the strain on my eyes is way less than it would be. And I don't even like watch videos in bed. I like listen to videos in bed to go to sleep, which has been so like I guess like helpful for my eyesight, which is nice. Which is nice. I definitely like appreciate that it's getting better. Let's see. Bring this up. Oh yeah, and I think within the next 2 or 3 streams, we will be finishing up with Hollow Knight, which is really exciting to me. I don't think we can get the God Home ending, unfortunately. So that's gonna be off the table, but the rest of it probably is. We can try Trial of the Fool, but I don't want to spend too much time because, you know, I do want to move on to other games at the end of the day. And if anything, we can always, like, revisit it if we really want to try it out. So I'm trying to think about, like, what game I want to play next. And honestly, I'm leaning towards Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Because I love Mystery Dungeon a lot. And, I think, and I'll go back to that color, actually. I think that'll be a really fun one to play on stream because I love that game to death. I think it has one of the best storylines, one of the best soundtracks just ever, and like the gameplay loop I think is like very relaxing to me too. So it'll be a good game overall. I'm gonna make sure that I get a thumbnail for that going, because the fun thing about that too, oops. Make sure we put the clipping layer on that. And there's actually a speck here that I gotta erase real quick. Oops. Oh, what is that about? There we go. Anyways, oh my god, I've just been recording that. Oops. I'll delete that real quick. So I'm excited. The fun thing too about Mystery Dungeon, my little tiefling Sona, my little silly little guy, on my socials that I use for the weekly schedule and everything, that is actually like her. Mystery Dungeon is effectively her backstory, which I think is gonna be really, really like fun to like dive into. I'll do like little D&D designs for all the Pokemon characters there. The partner Pokemon included, obviously. I was gonna make her a cat person, but considering I ship partner Pokemon and player Pokemon, I was like, I don't really think, just out of interest, why isn't this one ending possible? I'm so sorry, you're gonna have to remind me, like, what ending? Sorry, I was taking my blood pressure. Oof. Oh shoot, what ending was I talking about? Maybe you misheard me, because I don't know if I was talking about an ending. Oh, God Home. Oh, God Home, yeah. God Home ending, it's not that it's impossible, it's that it's very hard to get. Give it a little bit more pink on that, actually. So the way you get the God Home ending is this. You beat all of the Pantheons, and that's going to all 4 Pantheons in God Home, and that's going to unlock the 5th one, called the Pantheon of Hallownest. The Pantheon of Hallownest is a boss rush, so every single boss you have to beat without dying. And I'm not good at that, because the other thing too is that God Home unlocks some additional bosses in there, and I won't spoil it just in case we decide to do some of them. But it's tough. It is undoubtedly one of Hollow Knight's hardest challenges, and I don't think I can do it. I've never beat Colosseum of the Fool or Trial of the Fool. I've never beat the 3rd Pantheon in God Home. So I just don't think we're gonna be getting God Home ending, which is fine. I'm fine with that, because it's a really tough one to get anyways. A little upsetting that we won't get it, but we can always go back to it. But yeah, anyways, partner Pokemon. I do ship it with player Pokemon in Mystery Dungeon, and not that I'm against cat girls, but I think I would want my partner Pokemon to be a tiefling in my head, so she will be a tiefling bard. So I'm excited to play Pokemon Mystery Dungeon again as soon as we finish Hollow Knight. Get some details on the eyeshadow in. Or I guess it's eyeliner in a sense. The girl here, Reina, she has like a really pretty like silver glittery like eyeshadow that she wears in the music video. It's very subtle, but here it's gonna be a little bit more exaggerated because that's just how my art style goes. Let's take this so we can color the chain. Clipping. Oh, I love clipping layers. They're so useful. Sometimes I feel like my sketches are so clean that I should just like do a clipping layer over it, but I like inking. It's the one of the more fun parts of the process to be. Sketching, however, sketching kind of sucks. Because that's kind of like the point where I have to if I make this too dark. I think I can leave it like just wait for the highlights on that. I think that'll be fine. Johnny, I think, does not like inking that much, which is fine. Every artist like has like that one part of the process that they hate. I just personally don't like sketching because for me that's where I actually have to kind of be like very like precise about everything. Because the way that I ink, it's very much like I'm just tracing over whatever I sketched. So I have to be like super exact with it, but it's still like annoying no matter what I do. Let's see. All right, so does this need a filter over it? That's a really, really good question. Well, the filter's gonna have to go like up there actually. And I'll probably like I'll probably have like another thing over the extra clipping layer. Okay. I think it should be some sort of like warm-ish filter, right? Something warm. So I can still put like a sort of like blue rim over it. So let's see. We're gonna try this. Let's see. Get rid of that. I think that's everything. And then what we do now, we're going to mess with the lighting a little bit. Overlay. Oops. Not divide. Hard light. No, soft light. I kind of like that. Saturation, no. Man. Choosing this stuff is always like kind of tough. Because it's like I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do. Multiply, because another nice thing that you can do is you can honestly just how do I describe this? Lighten, no. Darken, no. Overlay. Because no, it's a very white light. I probably don't need the filter, huh? Oh wow, that's like weirdly desaturated when you take that off. Let me blink a few times. Probably don't need the filter then. Okay. Like, looking back at the reference, it's pretty natural lighting, just with some like blue highlights that I'm probably gonna like squeeze in there. Alright. So let's see. Get our trusty old acrylic brush going again. And of course, record some stuff because, yeah. Oh shoot, did I just take 2 pictures? I did. I'm stupid, I'm stupid. It's okay, we'll record the other eye. Then blur that out a little bit. Let's see, go something like that, and then... It's kind of cooling down right now. It's kind of nice. Let's see, 1:35. We got a little less than an hour. I'm excited to go to IKEA. It's always nice when we go out as a family, because it's usually that means good food is on the horizon. It means I will get out of the house for a good while. Let's see. Fix this to bring this up a little bit more. This more shape that I'm looking for. There we go. And then get this one. I kind of want to record this eye too. We'll go 30 on it. Oh, 40. I just took another picture. I'm so stupid. I was recording last night for the TikTok too. The song is actually so good. There's like this one verse where they just repeat the word moody a few times over, and it's so catchy. Again, if you haven't listened to it, I highly recommend just listening to it because it's so good. Let's see, let's take this. Just a few strokes right there. Then the cheeks. And don't let me forget that they're supposed to have like a little blush on their cheeks too. I think that's from their makeup. Some good sleepy jazz. My dad, when I was a baby, used to play like jazz for me to make me go to sleep. The guy's name was like Kenny G, something like that. Good music all around though, but yeah, very sleepy jazz. Then I'm like, I'm like making fan art for a band, right? Part of me is like kind of nervous, like, oh, do I like tag these people when I do this? I'm like, I should just do it, just because, at the end of the day, right? But I get like so nervous about like tagging people in like fan art, because it's like, I did this thing, I'll be like quiet over here now. Like, it's fine if I'm like making my own art, but if I'm like making art for someone else, it's like, I don't really know what to say. I should get on like the Vampire Cur art too. That one's been not necessarily like sitting for a while now, but it's about time for me to start working on it. I have the sketch ready. That one took like a few tries for me to get like a composition that I liked, and even then I think I'm not entirely like satisfied with it right now too. Something like that. Something very soft but very like defined at the same time. That's like the tough thing here. Yeah, that's what I want. From like afar, it looks good. But I know I should just do it just because it's like I should be proud of my art, and you know it'd be really cool if they saw it. I just get nervous about it, like what if they do see it, and like trying to convince myself in the head like it's a good thing if they see it, like you stupid. Like I know it's a good thing, but I still get like about it. Oh, there's like a pulse in my finger. That was weird. Get this too. Just because this looks like really nice. I'm just gonna get like a bunch of videos and see if it will be enough to like get up to like the chorus of the song. Something like that, you know? I wonder what time Johnny will be home. I think he gets home about an hour earlier now that he drives to school. So we'll probably be here around 3, which is really cool. Which means I'll probably get ready like as soon as stream is over. Bring this down. I'm like resting my head on my chin. Or my chin on my knee. I'm losing my mind. I'm so tired. Let's see. Do something like that. And yeah, that's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good, I'd say. It's only 1:42. We've still got plenty of time. I don't think we'll finish it on, well, we might if I work really fast. But again, it's supposed to be taking it easy still. This is nice. We gotta go right here. You know what I was thinking about earlier too? It'd be nice if I could find like a different like camera setup. Maybe I just need like an extra camera, but like something to where I can like do my analog inking on stream. I think that would be really fun. You guys get to watch me like spill my ink bottle like 5 times over. Oh my god, it hurts so much to have the ink spill. What I need to do something like that, I think I need to just like clean and organize my desk a little bit more properly, get it more optimized for that kind of thing. Because I like the idea of being able to like do the ink work on camera. It's just tough because I don't have the setup for it. But I would love to do that on stream. Cause I tried doing the whole inking thing digitally once. I didn't like it. Maybe that was because I was on my iPad, but I know the ink pen on Medibang isn't exactly like a dip pen kind of physics kind of thing. And I know Procreate has some stuff for that, but I still didn't like how it felt on Procreate. It felt harder to use. So I think at the end of the day, just if I do any ink work, it is just gonna be all traditional. So, so there's that. But I haven't done it in like a few days, but I want to do it again. Again, it's just my poor hand. you know, it is feeling better with like the days of like more extended periods of just like not drawing, which is nice. I hope like the slight change in like content will be like well received too. I might have it so maybe it's maybe I just post like little snippets of like songs I've learned on bass. I think that'll be a fun one, or even like writing stuff. Maybe I get back to making more crystal jewelry. I don't know, but we'll see. I know me, Johnny, and Clive, I want to get us together so we can practice Horse with No Name. Because we came out with like a really simple bass line for the song, because the song's very like simple as well. So for Johnny describes it as like an endurance test for him. Me, I'm just there, like, I play 2 notes, I think, out of like the whole thing. Like 2 notes all together, and it's just like a very simple rhythm. And then we have Clive on vocals because, he knows how the song goes, like, lyrically better than us. So there's that. Whoops. Not what I meant to do. I meant to do something more like this. So continue it off of there. I love rendering the hair. I think that's one of like the most like fun ones to do, because there's like all kinds of like shapes with like the different like bunches of hair and everything, and I think it's really fun. Let's see, push that out, and then this one's gonna come up way more. Oh, and Johnny also just finished a portrait of one of our co-workers, and it's insane because it looks exactly like him, and it's like, good lord, this is hilarious. It's so good. It's such a good thing. The only thing is that we tried to go to Michael's the other day because we were trying to find like some kind of varnish to put over it, because it's an oil painting, right? And the thing with oil is that it takes a stupid amount of time for it to completely dry. So what will happen is like the outer layers of paint, those are probably dry, right? Because they're on the outside, but the layers underneath might not be. And as it turns out, the drying process for oil paint can take like half a year to literally just a year. Like, it takes so long for oil paint to completely dry. And Johnny was like losing his mind because he was supposed to be giving this to him like within like this week, or like I think he wanted to give it to him Monday, or something. But of course, it's like we can't get the varnish on there if the thing's not completely dry. But we found out that there's a thing called 24-hour varnish, that he can use instead. And then like I think when the time comes for him to like actually varnish it, he's probably just gonna like go over to our coworker's house and like do it there or something. I think that's what the plan was. But they didn't have the 24-hour varnish at Michael's, which was just kind of like why? So I think he ended up ordering it's gonna be here on Wednesday, which, like, man, it's taken so long. We were out for quite a bit on Saturday. We went to Michael's on Saturday, that's right. And not only did we go to Michael's, but earlier in the day, I had wanted to go get breakfast at McDonald's, and so we went there. And then I wanted to go to Target so I could pick up some dry shampoo, and then Johnny suggested, like, hey, how about we go to Goodwill too? At Goodwill, we picked up something really cool. I noticed on one of their shelf displays that they had these art prints of these sea creatures. So there was one for a bunch of like turtles and tortoises, and another one for stingrays. And I was like, I was like, we're getting these, and he's like, okay, because if you're not gonna get them, and he was like, all right, well, if you're not gonna get these prints, I don't know, like, what do you mean if I'm not gonna get these prints? I'm getting the prints. So he took the one with the rays, I got the one with the turtles, and then I found a frame at Michael's to put it up with. It's up there right now. It's so nice, and I was so worried that the artist wasn't going to be listed anywhere on the thing, because there was just no names, and I was like, where's the artist for this? Because this is such a nice print. Turns out there was a backside with a grayscale version with the names of the turtle species as well, and it came from a book called Animalium, and the animals were illustrated by an artist named Katie Scott, and I was like, this is so cool. It's like, man, can you imagine having your art in a book? That has to be like one of the coolest accomplishments someone could ever have, or someone could ever hope to achieve. I know something that I think I would love to do is like illustrate a scene from like fan fiction. I think that would be really cool if I got like commissioned to do that. I have illustrated like a full-on fanfic before that I've written. That took so long because I was doing a page a week, and I still have to do the Stardew one. I keep forgetting about it. I'm so sad. I swear I'll get to it. I know we haven't played Stardew on stream in a while, but I still want to do it. Let's see. Do some of this. Also, I think I might color some of these outlines just to, I don't know, I feel like it might be a good idea. But we'll see. I think like right here I kind of want to color it just like on the inside, just to help it look a little more like with the chain, or maybe I'll put like outlines on the chain. I don't know. I'll do something, that's for sure. Then let's just do that. Get this shade or rendered as well. Oh, another thing I've been meaning to do, I've been meaning to do a tutorial on like wood stain, because I haven't updated my art tutorials in a minute because I kind of forgot that they were there. So I think I might spend some time doing that over the weekend, because I think this entire week is just proof that I should not be posting art daily, but I can make art daily. Just as long as I know how to like pace myself with it. Alright, there we go. And then I think from here it'll be shirt. Let's see, it's kind of the same color as a Starion shirt from Baldur's Gate 3. So that means I'm gonna have to do either one of two things. Just be very like gentle with the color as I'm painting it on, or make the color slider here darker so it doesn't like, so it isn't too shiny. Oh, you guys should like see like the tip of my pen nib. I have no idea how well it will show up on stream. That's not gonna help if I put it there, but it's like completely slanted at the thing. I should really try to like rotate the pen more. to fix and balance it out, but the button is really nice when it's under my index finger, and that's kind of why it's so like skewed. I'm glad I have extra pen nibs though. I was kind of worried that I would forget that where they were, but as it turns out, it's in like the pen holder. So this little thing actually unscrews, and I have 10 extra nibs in here, which is good. I think the nib remover is also like in there somewhere. Because you can't just pull these things out. If you could just pull these things out, we have problems. But yeah, it's incredible how like worn pen nibs get with tablets. Let's see. Let's blur some of this out. I don't usually like blurring the highlights because it's really nice when the textures kind of like overlap on top of each other from the shadow and the highlight. But I think I kind of need to just to make sure it's not like glowing, intense, bright. So I'll do something like that. And then another little bit over here. Another little bit right there. And then I'm gonna do like these little things first, these little ruffles. Do something like that. And really make sure we continue selling the idea of like depth with this. Oops. I wonder if the pen nib like affects like if a worn pen nib affects like the shape of brushes. Because I think to an extent on Procreate it kind of does. Like with the Apple Pencil, but like the wear is a lot less noticeable on the Apple Pencil than it is on the Huion or the Wacom that I used to use. Also, thank God I stopped using that Wacom. It was like so tiny. I felt so constrained using it sometimes. I think that's too bright up there. So let's see. Let's make this bigger and we'll just very, very light strokes. Oops. And we can't layer it too much. Okay. Just some like that. Some like sort of ambient ones. I don't think ambient is the right word to use, but just like some floating highlights. Not on the edge or anything, just not really trying to make any like specific shape, just kind of there for the sake of being there. And then I think I can also do like the same thing like right here-ish, like on some of these edges, just very lightly again. And then, of course, blur them out a little bit. Do something like that. All right, let's move on to Nicole. Oops, that's our watercolor. The cool thing with like lighter skin tones like this, you don't even need to like move the color slider around. You can just use like the base color and it works out pretty well. And then something like that. And you get the cheekbone right here. It's still kind of tough like painting these because it's like you want to make it so it's like curved a certain way, but like it's a very, very, very specific shape, and it's not always easy to get it like exactly right. this, bring it up like that. Again, just going kind of lightly so the skin's not like illuminating. Did I already talk about the literary analysis of Jeff the Killer that someone posted? Hilarious video. I was telling Johnny about it, and one of the things that I mentioned was that in the literary analysis, I'm glad somebody else noticed that Randy's wrist healed like ridiculously fast over the course of 2 days, because I don't think that's how long bones take to heal. Like, even if it was like twisted or dislocated or something, I don't think you can dislocate a wrist. I'm not sure about that, but point being, that kid was using his hand again real quickly to beat Jeff up at the party, which is just hilarious to me because, again, not how that works, but what can you do? So one of the things that he asked me was how I would rewrite Jeff the Killer if I was given the chance. And I think there's a couple of approaches that I would like to take with it. I think something that would be fun would be like the neighborhood is just a cult of people trying to turn Jeff into a monster. I think that would be pretty funny. Pretty scary, pretty fun, pretty silly. I think another approach would just be like making it so Jeff really has just been like this troubled and violent kid from the start. But because Lou, his brother, loves him so much, he kind of like enables it a little bit. I think that would be an interesting angle. But yeah, there's like a few ways that I think like you could rewrite it and have it be like very like fun and silly still. I still need to check out the Postro rewrite of Jeff the Killer, because I know he did that, and I was like super interested to see how that actually ended up. Let's get this. I love that like part of this little jazz soundtrack they've just like thrown in like the happy birthday song. I'm surprised it's not copyright, actually. Actually very surprising. I'm gonna make this more gray, actually, because I'm looking at the reference here. When the light hits her hair, she doesn't have a lot of brown, so even though I did make this a pretty dark shade of brown, I'm gonna make sure that I get the color just about right. Speaking of the color brown, actually, me and Johnny have been trying to figure out how we're gonna dye my hair red. Not all of it red, not all of it, just kind of like the underside of it, if that makes sense. So what we've been doing is we will take like a big portion of my hair, and it's hard to see, but it's like, this is what gets dyed, this is what doesn't get dyed, and we'll just section that off. But the frustrating thing has been this, in order to get the shade of red that I want, we were under the impression that we need to lift the color from my hair first, because, you know, my hair is very dark. And even though my hair is very dark, it is still kind of the lightest hair color across all of my family. And that's because, for some reason, I was born with brown hair. I still don't know what that is about. There's like a highlight, a natural highlight on like the right side of my head. That is still brown. I also don't know why it turned black. But here we are. All of that to say, there is now numerous brown highlights in my hair. You're not gonna be able to see it because the lighting is not good. Because we've been trying to like get the color out of there, so now there's just like portions of my hair that are a lot lighter than the others, and it's kind of annoying because I don't think it honestly looks that good, because it's like only on one section. If it was on like all of it, I think it would have been fine, but like it's one section that just has like all of these like random highlights now. So finally Johnny asked one of his friends, who's also Filipino, and also has her hair dyed red, She told us the product that she uses. And apparently with this one, you can just straight up, like, no bleaching or anything, or bleaching or lightening needed. You could just go for it. And I was like, I wish we knew about this earlier. Because we've been trying this for like a bit now. And Johnny was losing his mind because he was like, why doesn't your hair like lighten? And I'm like, I don't know, Johnny. It's weird that it doesn't, because again, my hair is technically lighter than his, and he's bleached his hair before without any problems, so it's like, how? How is this actually not working? I was at the point where it's like, maybe we should just use bleach to like lift the color. The only thing that was like stopping us from using bleach was that I didn't want it to be like a bright red. I wanted it to be like a very like muted, dark red. Something that was just not necessarily subtle, but like kind of like blends in with like the rest of it in a sense. And that's why we weren't using bleach, because I didn't want it to be like super bright, because I like my hair colored the way that it is. I just thought it'd be fun to have like a little bit of like another color in there, which is also why I'm not dyeing like the rest of like all of my hair. So that was hilarious. I was trying it yesterday by myself. The last color lifter that we did buy worked better than the other ones that we have tried so far, but it was still effectively black at the end of the day. And I was just like, I don't think it is possible to dye my hair at this point. There are supernatural forces preventing me from doing this one thing that said no. Go stronger on the highlights there real quick. They're not actually like strong enough in my opinion. There's gotta be a little bit more. Like a little like extra one here too. Then let's see. Something long like this. And then something like that. Like more concentrated middle. It's definitely a little bright. It's definitely like a little awkward looking. It's okay. I think we'll fix it. We'll fix it. It won't be too bad. It's like the other thing we can do still too. We can still like blur some of it. And just... I don't usually like doing it to the hair, because the hair especially to me should have like this like should have like that rough looking texture, but kind of gotta do it here a little bit. Then let's see. Like that. Then get more recorded from this. Something like that. Yeah. And then get some strength back into the color. Then just need to do that. This is looking fine. We're good. It's not Jover. was telling Johnny one of my favorite things about writing the D&D one shots is actually choosing the soundtrack for whatever is happening. I honestly think that is like very fun. Because I think it, because the way that one thing that I think I'm particularly good with is like setting up scenes. So it's nice when I can have like a song that like pairs with all of that, and it just helps sell the atmosphere. Because like when you have the right music and you start reading it, and you start reading like the little scene description to your players, it is so fun. It is like so satisfying to hear it like together like that. Let's see. Do that. I really like how this looks. I'm excited. I'll have this posted tomorrow at the usual time. So I'll definitely be able to finish it by tonight. The only thing is, again, I also need to clean my room, so I gotta make time for that. And I got work tomorrow too, so that's fun. Follow the curve of the hair piece here. There we go. And then I'm liking how this is looking. Part of me wishes that I know at some point in high school I wanted to join jazz band, but the thing with jazz band was that it was a 0 period. So that meant you had to be there like before like the rest of school even got there. Which is fine, right? I didn't mind that part. The issue was that I already had a 0 period, and that was my Avid class, which was unfortunate. But I stuck with Avid all four years. I was in Avid for as long as I was in band. Actually, I started in middle school, so it didn't feel right to an extent to just like ditch it. And I was in marching band anyways. Can you imagine being like all three though? Probably would not have done that well in jazz band, to be honest. Because the instruments there, it was not an environment well suited for flute, we'll put it that way. Like, yes, you can have jazz flutes, but like... Or flutes can play jazz songs, that's no problem, but like one flute in a band with trumpets, saxophones, trombones, and everything would not have been heard. And it would have been a lot for me to learn a new instrument at the time anyways. As much as I wanted to. I actually wanted to play saxophone originally when I joined band. But at the time, I had braces, and with those braces, the orthodontist was like, you're gonna have to wear a bite plate for a bit. So I had a lisp at the beginning of middle school, which is kind of funny. I don't remember when I got it removed. I think I got it removed in 8th grade? Or maybe I had it removed sometime in the middle of 7th, I don't remember. Point being, I didn't have the bite plate for very long in school, so it wasn't like a very like lasting impression kind of thing of me, which was great, which was hilarious. But the bite plate did mean that I think the bite plate did also mean like I probably couldn't play like an instrument with like a reed in it or anything. And I was having trouble wrapping my head around how to play a brass instrument, so flute was kind of the only option for me at that point. get the shirt here. What time is it? 2:14. All right. Be wrapping up shortly-ish here. Oops. Go ahead and get this too. I'm just like trying to grab as much footage as I can, so that way, hopefully like editing it all together will work out in my favor. So again, I just don't want to have to do it on stream, because that means I have to like mute so I don't get like the copyright thing, just in case it picks up on the mic. And like it's fine and all, but I don't mind that, but it's like I don't want too much like silence on stream, because the whole point of art and yapping is art and yapping. Blur. Let's see. Get this nice and figured out. I think that is this one layer done. So now we can go up here, add another clipping layer. And then we're going to, it's very shiny, so I'm gonna desaturate it a little bit just so we can get that extra sort of gloss look to it. Do that, and yeah, 20 is good. And then get a little bit shinier in there. So let's see. And then something like that. Oops. Then just blur it a little bit. Blur and blend as we do. Then we'll take this, make this nice and shiny as well. And we're gonna add the sparkles after we get all the highlights in. All the fun shimmery stuff. Might make it just a little subtle too, just so this isn't like such an overbearing like color. Then let's move on over here. Something like that. Make it nice and shiny too. Get like a nice point in there. Then bring this back down so we can get this top part right here. Actually don't do a lot of detailing on the top lip just because it's just not, it just looks like a little less balanced if I do that, like from a color and light standpoint. And then grab this part, also make it nice and shiny. Alright, and then last thing I need to do for highlights is going to, well, for the regular highlights, I still gotta add like the blue, because like when, again, the reference, there's like a little bit of blue hitting them. So I want to make sure I get a little bit of that in there too. Let's see, grab this, make it kind of like that. Then I don't think I want to go too hard because this is right on the skin. We don't want it to like blend in too much, so we don't want to make it too terribly bright. We definitely don't want it to be like uneven with the shading either. Add some extra in there. bit over there too. And then I think last bit is just gonna be just some small-ish kind of like highlights. So like kind of hitting right around here. I think right here will also be good, just to add a little bit of separation between the eyelid fold and the frame of the glasses there. Something up here, because that's like the high point. And then also right here, get this a little bit brighter too. Just for some stronger emphasis. And then blur all of that real quick and blend it a little. And then I think we're gonna take a very light color now. Just very carefully, just like this, this, and then I want to add some like rim parts at the bottom down here. Just be like careful not to make it too much like, actually I think it's better off without it, yeah. But we're still gonna make sure we blend all of this nice. How does that look from afar? Like gently erase some of it, I think. Just a little bit. Here we go. Go ahead and save, because I think it's also been a little bit since then. And let's get the blues in there. So go up here. Yeah, it's fine up there. We'll take one of these similarly colored, and then I don't think I actually want to set this layer to add. I think we're gonna keep it like fairly normal, just because we're gonna be coloring over some lighter spots as well. So that being said, I think I do need to make it more like this, so it looks way more like there's like just a smidge of light hitting the area. Sort of like this cool toned stuff. Then we want to do it along some of the hair too. Blur again. Maybe I should add it. Yeah, add is actually that is actually what it needed. It was looking way too like dull. That being said, I'm gonna be very careful about like the rest of the way that I apply it. Otherwise, it's just gonna look white. Like right here probably doesn't work all that well because it just comes off as white, so it's actually gonna be more like that. Some like extra blues in there, and that is like more or less getting like the effect that I'm trying to look for. Just right here though, let's redo that a little bit. We don't want it to be like so much that it's like so like noticeable, but we want it to be there so that it's like it's sort of like there's a sort of extra sort of like environmental light there, but not too much of it, not too much of it. Then continue bringing this down. Oops. Need to stop rearranging my brushes accidentally. Speaking of brushes, I still gotta organize that fantasy map making brush pack that I got. So I can get it like all imported over to the computer as well. Because I want to start making maps of my D&D world, but it's a little hard to do that without like actual like map brushes, I think, because I don't actually know too much about that. Then let's see. I think I want some blues, just kind of like just kind of like idly like there in the face. Not too much though. Again, definitely want it on the shirt in some like pocket areas, just kind of like that. And kind of do the same thing that we were doing earlier. Get it like really like nice and sort of like well blended in there. All right. It's like with and without. Oops. With and without. I think it's looking pretty good. Might decrease it a little bit, but we'll see. Let's see. Let's move on over here too. That. Oops. All right, we will be wrapping up here pretty shortly. It's good because it's heating up in my room again. Ah! Let me just make sure we get everything that I want shaded in. Let me get this spot too. It's really blue there. I'm not sure if I should like make it lighter on the hair, but you know, it might not look all that bad when it's done. I think I might keep it. Oops. I think as long as it's just like in smaller spots, it'll look fine, you know? Then do something like that. And get like this sort of middle here. And right here too. Blend it a little bit. It's just rinse and repeat. This is literally all I do. I was doing like a similar sort of like thing for the band members. Lights was fun because I got to use like a yellow light and then like a very like pinkish fuchsia kind of light. That one was fun to do. I still got to do like a group shot, so I think I might look at some like fun group poses and do that. Because I definitely think that they should just have like a poster where it's all three of them together. All right. We go, and it is 2:30. All right, so I'm suffering under maps as well. It's so difficult. All right, so it is 2:30 now. I'm gonna get this done probably tonight, and then I'll have it ready to go tomorrow. I'll have like a fun little video with it too, Anyways, next stream is going to be Thursday. We're gonna do some more Hollow Knight content. Actually did end up doing some off-camera grinding, so we will have enough geo for the Unbreakable Charms, which is super exciting, which means we can keep doing stuff. Enjoy the trip to IKEA. I absolutely will. Alright. All of that being said, thank you guys so much for coming around. I super appreciate it as always. You guys are the best, and looking forward to doing this again. Love you all, and bye.